Have you ever paused to consider the unseen currents of existence, the vast, indifferent tapestry against which our tiny dramas unfold? What happens when a fleeting flicker, born of transient warmth, mistakes its own momentary illumination for a grand, unmissable beacon? When the briefest breath of ambition swells into a thunderous roar in the echo chamber of one's own mind, only to dissipate into the silent, unheeding expanse of the world? Is it not a peculiar affliction of the spirit to believe oneself the focal point of a universe that scarcely registers one's presence? This is the paradox of self-importance, a delicate, yet devastating illusion, where the magnitude of one's ego blinds the eyes to the true measure of their impact. We whisper our grand narratives, but does the mountain listen? In the boundless, hushed dominion of the peaks of eternal slumber, where ancient stone slumbered beneath a perpetual cloak of mist and starlight, resided the mountain of ages. This colossal entity, carved by millennia of wind and ice, was less a geographical feature and more a living testament to time itself. Its granite heart beat with the slow, deliberate rhythm of geological epochs, its slopes cradling entire forests like moss on a giant's shoulder. The mountain of ages neither spoke nor moved, but simply was, a silent witness to the eons, its very mass a profound embodiment of enduring humility. One twilight, a creature of shimmering, iridescent wings, a moth of grand aspirations, found itself drawn to the mountain. This was no ordinary moth, it possessed an inner glow, a tiny, self-generated luminescence that it believed outshone the distant stars. It had recently escaped the confines of a particularly vibrant meadow, where its brief, brilliant flight had earned it the fleeting admiration of other, lesser insects. Drunk on this minuscule acclaim, the moth saw the mountain not as an insurmountable force of nature, but as its next, grand stage. The moth, with its fragile, gossamer wings, alighted upon a jagged crag, barely a speck against the colossal grey. For days it remained, flitting from one stony outcrop to another, convinced it was leaving an indelible mark. It believed its shimmering presence illuminated the mountain's often shadowed crevices, that its tiny, energetic movements brought a vibrant pulse to the otherwise inert landscape. Behold, it might have cried, had the mountain ears to hear or language to understand. I, the bringer of light, have graced your ancient form with my brilliance. It would preen, polishing its wings with its delicate legs, imagining the deep, slow-breathing mountain acknowledging its radiant contribution. After what felt like an eternity, a full week in the moth's perception, a mere blink in the mountains, the moth felt its mission was complete. It had, in its own mind, invigorated the monumental being, brought a spark of life to its stoic grandeur. Before departing, it hovered dramatically before a sheer rock face, its tiny antennae quivering with self-importance. Great mountain, it declared, its voice a high-pitched buzz lost to the wind, I have rested upon you and graced you with my presence. Shall I now take my leave? The mountain of ages, its colossal form unchanging, continued its slow, silent vigil. A faint tremor, the barely perceptible shift of a tectonic plate, stirred deep within its core. A single, ancient flake of lichen, disturbed by a zephyr, detached itself from the crag where the moth had first landed, falling silently into the abyss below. The mountain's only response, had it been capable of articulating one, would have been the profound, unhurried thought it had entertained for millennia, I am. The world turns. What is a moth to eternity? The moth, perceiving no grand farewell or profound gratitude, shrugged its fragile shoulders, oblivious. It soared away, convinced it had been the highlight of the mountain's long existence, leaving behind no more trace than a whisper in a hurricane, a fleeting shadow on a timeless stone. The mountain, in its silent wisdom, felt no loss, nor had it registered a gain. This narrative mirrors a profound human failing, the tendency to conflate self-perception with objective reality. In our modern, often self-promotional world, we are constantly broadcasting our presence, seeking validation, and measuring our worth through external acknowledgement. How often do we, like the moth, flutter through the lives of others, convinced of our monumental impact, only to discover we were barely a fleeting thought? This story serves as a poignant reminder that genuine significance often arises not from seeking the spotlight, but from quiet, consistent contribution, or simply existing with a deep, unshakable sense of self, irrespective of external gaze. It challenges us to assess whether our brilliance truly illuminates or merely casts a brief, unheeded shadow. Thus, Filiarium reminds us, the universe does not always echo our self-importance. True humility lies in understanding the vastness, and finding peace in one's place within it, however small, however unacknowledged by the indifferent giants of existence.